Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining this overview of what is new in Sales Automation Infinity 23. I'm Rebecca Miller, Senior Product Strategy Manager for CRM here at Pega, and I'm really excited to be talking with Frank Martin, Senior Director of Product Management for Sales Automation. Frank, this is such an exciting release. Really excited for our conversation today.
Absolutely. Great to be here.
So, Frank, there is so much in this release, but I want to start off our conversation by talking about the key themes that we really focused in on. So, what you're seeing on the screen, delivering intelligent insights and optimizing seller productivity. These areas remain to be crucial for enterprises to be competitive in the current environment that we're seeing is super complex in nature. Over the past year, we've seen a seismic shift within the technology space, specifically around generative AI. And we're really excited that this release is really setting the path for the future for what we're going to be able to do with Pega to really apply generative AI in practical use cases for sales automation. So, Frank, I'd love to just talk to you a little bit about what you're most excited about in this release. Can we dive into some of those intelligent insight features and capabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, we're really leaning into Gen AI in this release. Our primary focus is around boosting sales rep productivity, right? And if you think about where salespeople spend all their time, they spend a lot of time in their emails, communicating with their customers. They spend a lot of time in meetings, taking notes, and then acting on the follow-up tasks for those meetings. And so we've really honed in on those two areas. From an email point of view, we have our Outlook add-in and we have our Chrome extension for customers that use Gmail. We are now enhancing that and adding Gen AI generated responses to emails. So when a sales rep opens up an email, we actually generate the top 3 replies to that email in real time using Gen AI. We allow the sales rep to preview those potential responses, to open them, open it as a draft, change it if they want to change it, because we know Gen AI is not always perfect, and then send that email out. So we're really automating the response to customer emails. Secondly, we have our post-meeting wrap-up capability where we are using transcripts from calls, right? So we've had Zoom, WebEx, Voice AI capability for a few releases. We're able to harness those transcripts into our system. We're going to be supporting Microsoft Teams in the future. And now that we have those transcripts, we're using Gen AI to create a summary of a meeting, a concise, meaningful summary, and then surface action items like meetings, emails, and to-do tasks after the meeting. So when a sales rep finishes a meeting, within 30 minutes of that meeting, a meeting summary is sent out to all the attendees. If people miss the call, they can get sent that summary and know what happened in that call. Managers of people on the call can subscribe to the summary and see the summary of the call. And then the action items are actionable. So a sales rep just sees an action item to send an email or create a meeting or create a follow-up task. With one click, they can take that action right there after the meeting.
And Frank, what you hit on is the fact that not only are sales reps getting a lot of value out of this, really everyone who touches the sales process is getting a lot of value from these new Gen AI capabilities. I think the other thing that's really important to note is that sellers really can't be everywhere at once, and this is taking a lot of the homework off of the sellers' plates by providing them a co-pilot. So they're really still in control of every conversation that they're having, but this is really enabling them to be a lot more productive and efficient with their time because we know that every moment counts. And I think that's a really good segue to our other key theme around optimizing productivity. Can you talk a little bit about the capabilities that we're announcing in this area as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we mentioned meetings, right? We know sales reps spend a lot of times in meetings. Since the pandemic, Zoom, WebEx, Teams have been the channel that allows salespeople use to interact with their customers. We don't see that changing with a lot of people working remotely indefinitely. And so we've built this real-time add-in that works in your video meetings. So it's going to be supported in Zoom and WebEx in this release, 23 release. We're going to support Teams in the 24 release. And this brings insights into the call. So as a sales rep joins a meeting with a customer, as different contacts from those customers join the meeting, we pull in a profile for that person. We show their sentiment, we show their recent engagement, we show their influence rating, their title. If you have an open opportunity with this account, you can bring up the opportunity and show the AI insights from that opportunity. And then if you use Customer Decision Hub, we can actually surface offers right there in the call. So while you're in that video meeting with your customer, you can get upsell and cross-sell offers from Customer Decision Hub real time during that interaction. We also have Voice AI, which we've had in telephony in the past couple of releases, but Voice AI is now a capability within a video call. So Voice AI can listen in, right, be that co-pilot for the sales rep during the call. And if it detects things like the customer wants to buy something, it can prompt you to create an opportunity. If it detects that the customer wants to have a meeting next Tuesday, it prompts you to create the meeting, and it actually fills in as many fields as it can using the entity extraction of things like locations and dates and times based on the conversation. So real-time Voice AI, as well as those insights into your pipeline and your contacts right there in your video meeting. The other productivity feature we're shipping is a new route planning capability where a sales rep can bring up a map of all their prospects within a certain area. They can create a list of all the prospects in that area, decide which ones they want to visit, and then with one click of a button, create an optimized route plan that optimizes their path to visit all of those customers within one trip. And that's going to be available on the mobile application. So when they're out in the field, it makes it really easy for them to either walk or drive to whichever customers they need to in the most efficient way possible.
So thank you so much, Frank, for diving into the key highlights of this release. There's so much great insight that you shared and so much more to be learned about within this Infinity 23 release. We're really launching generative AI. Props to you and the product team for really getting in front of this, as we all know that this is really going to affect our personal lives as well as professional lives. If folks are interested in learning more about Pega Sales Automation Infinity 23, be sure to visit us at pega.com/sales, as well as our community sales automation page, where you can find training as well as release notes and information specifically about this Infinity 23 release. Frank, thank you so much for this sneak peek. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you, Rebecca.